So we got press conference this week, and it is Valery, and Danny who are going to be speaking to the media today. Apologies, it'll be a little bit like last week if you hear a bit of noise. I've got my little boy here. He is just having his lunch, but this is the only time I'm going to get a chance to do a video. So one of those ones where you're just going to have to get this kind of stuff from me in the future. It's just the joys of being a dad and a content creator. You have to balance, and this is my balance. So he's currently eating his food, but we're going to get into this. If you could like, share, and subscribe to the channel, much appreciate it. Liking out the algorithm, sharing gets in front of people's faces, and subscribing lets me know you like the channel. Hit that notification bell to let you know when videos go live. So we are preparing for a very hectic Christmas calendar, as we know. And this is what Valery has said on the Sheffield Wednesday website. And there's also some bits that he said to the media as well. In times like this, there's not a lot of time to train, which means we cannot do a lot of video work. We can do a lot of video work where it's about yourself, the opponent. I like the challenge. I like to be in different positions I haven't played before. This will help me in the future, the kind of football I may be asked to play. I like to learn. I feel I'm improving. The coaches demand different things and different games as the players. We have to take the information to the pitch. He went on to turn around how he's enjoyed it so far. With the start, at the start of the season, it was reverse. Home were good, away not so much, but shows how we can do it, and I feel really confident about the next home game. It definitely improved to be consistent both home and away if you want to go where we want to go. If we want to go higher, we have to improve on that. And he's right, we do have to improve on that massively, and it's something we haven't done yet. Speaking about the fans, saying that we understand how love our fans have got. At away games, you can hear them. At home, it's such a different. At home, when team come to Hilbert, you hear our fans make such a difference in their head, especially with our style of football. When we press, we can force the opposition into making mistakes, which we can. We are very good at that. All of us together make a difference. I know sometimes the fans, we can get frustrated, and we might do this as humans. We make mistakes on the pitch, and they can go quietly, or they might boo us. I don't think that really helps. It's about being all together, which is really behind us. And louder it is, makes a difference, and to opponent. I have players come into the stadium say I think it's not easy to play at Hill, but the noise they make is different than players. Players are grateful for that, and that's the thing. We have to, as fans, remember that they're human. That something like that will affect them. Granted, they are being paid a lot of money, as somebody will point out, to be in this job. This is their job, and this is their profession. The only job in the world where you will get criticised if you make a mistake online, or booed or swore at. Most jobs, you're probably not going to get that. But here's the thing, I like that. I liked how he said how the fans are on it. He made out he likes playing in different positions, so it might improve him as a player. He sounds like a player who likes to improve every single time he steps on that pitch. Every time he trains, he likes to try and make a difference with how he plays and how he gets on. Right, going to the actual press conference with Danny. Danny looks very upbeat for this. He was saying how the character team, how they're doing well from coming from behind and playing well, and how they are being able to have a different, something that they haven't had last year, where they're able to play better and play from behind if they do go behind. He'd like to stop that being a kid, and he spoke about how 25 points is a big achievement compared to last season. This shows the improvement. There were a couple of teams around them last season who were around the same points, and then when they had the same points, they either went up or they went down. So we've got to make sure we keep that consistency going. We have to make sure we can do it, don't we? Yes, we do, Hunter. We have to keep it going. He spoke about having 4 shapes. In theory, he would like to have 1 shape on the pitch, but it shows that they are adaptable and they can change, and it shows how good the players do. He got asked about how if he would want higher XG or lower XG, which one would he like? And he sounds like he wants the chances created than anything else. And he said against 2 different teams. Hull, they had the higher XG, and against Derby had the lower XG, and they got it. And that's something that they have to do. They have different strengths and different profiles in all the forwards that we have got at the moment, which is good to know. We need to make sure we got those different profiles. So we've got different players who can play different ways of playing how we want to play. And having like Jamal Lowe, he's a bit of a poacher. You've got Bo was for his strength and being a bit more direct. The same with Michael Smith. He had got the different stuff, but he wants to try and see what happens. He liked the thing with Lowe, he'll attack the base a lot more and had those different profiles. So, spoke about Cadamartri. Is he worried about minutes he's getting? He said basically at the end of the day, it's about what the manager is doing there at Lincoln. They'll see what happens. He got a couple of came on just near the end, and they did turn around and say that, yeah, they'll discuss it if it's a problem, but it's also about how Danny, bloody hell, Bailey can figure that out as well, and how he can force himself into the team and also understand and help him understand that he's not going to get picked every week. They like him to be in all the time, but it's not something that can happen. Going on to the January window, is he starting to plan? Where can they get things sorted and stuff like that? He said being where they are in the table is going to help us. I agree. I agree with this 100%. Where we are in the table will help us massively with what players we can get in. We struggled to get certain players in because they didn't want to be in a relegation zone last season. Yes, that's right. They didn't, did they, Hunter? And he said he'll start speaking clubs and see what he can get in, see what players can come make a difference. He don't want players in for the sake of players. He wants them to make an impact. Him and Kevin will start talking on what positions he wants, see what happens then to convince the players, and that'll be the human side of it, getting the transfer going, then getting it all right with the club and making sure that the financials is all done. Talking about the human side, when he speaks with players, sometimes they are okay, and straight away they have a vibe. Sometimes he goes, not the vibe I'm looking for, and see how they go there. But he said a lot of it is about being able to see how the player is, see how confident the player is wanting to come here. The agent will have done their research and the player about how he plays, how daddy is, and vice versa. It's all about what each party done. If they've done the due diligence, they'll know how a meeting's going to go. But it's also being able to have that human side. I think it's the human side of it we don't see, which brings me on to the whole situation of going and visiting the team. The team going and visiting the kids in hospital and doing all the charity work they did this week. And I think that's good. It just shows the human side that you can go in there and go into, say, the children's kid who's not having a great time, see one of his players from his football team he supports, and then him be like, oh my God, they came and visited me. Oh my God, they came and played PlayStation with me for a bit. That could be the difference between that kid's year being a year of being really ill and not being able to, and just having that one thing knowing he played PlayStation with Barry Bannon or something like that. That could be a huge thing. And I think that's good. I think it's good that we have to have that kind of connection to that to help them get through things, and it shows the human side of the players and Danny. And Danny said, being a parent, you never want to see your kid in that situation, and I agree. Changes in games, they look at games. They also look at what games need. So basically, they'll look at the data. They'll look at what's going on the pitch. They'll see about talking to different assistants he got around him to see what changes they need to do. Ideally, would like not to do that, but at times he got to. They spoke about Josh doing well and picked up the pace well, and how him and Shea were both doing the same thing, trying to work it into different pockets and trying to move backwards as much as he can. So it's always interesting. Shush you. He spoke about having no Baz this weekend, and spoke about how he he's not going to give away what he's saying, but it was interesting. He spoke about Chalobah, how Chalobah did really well, and how he wanted to see if he can do more than just 20 minutes here and there, and see if he can start a game. Hi, buddy. And see if he can start a game instead of doing his usual trying to just do 20 minutes. So we'll see. He spoke about how Ingolson could be somebody gets used in there, how he's getting used to a new league, a new manager, but he's got really good strength, how he keeps improving as well, and they'll see if he could do. But he said he got a good option there. He got Palmer, he got Ingolson, he got people there. But he said Ingolson is one of the ones he liked the look of. He wants to see if he can try and get him into more games as he can. Spoke about Sean Fewser, saying Sean what they're going to do with him. Is the case for him going out on loan because there's no cup game? They're really happy with how he's training, how he's getting on. Spoke about contract. Now, there was talk that I thought his contract was up at the end of the summer as well. Danny seemed to think that it's not. Seemed to think that it's all done and dusted. So we'll see. Hopefully, contract is sorted. I know there were talks during the year, and I'm sure I did a video saying contract talks were ongoing. So we'll see. It sounds like they may have been done and dusted. And then we just go on to our home and away form. Our away form needs to be much better. Our home form needs to be a bit better. And he was saying that what's the difference? He said a lot of it down to last season. You look 6 months, the expectation changes where we needed all the fans to help get us out of that situation, and we do need that. It's colder times, it is a cast situation as well, but we'll see what happens. They said the higher they are and they want to see nice football, they'd like to see 4-0 all the time at home if they could, like in that first game. But they're not seeing that. That's what they've got to try and improve on. But I thought Danny spoke really well. He had everything what he wanted to get said and stuff. And what I always find really interesting about Danny, he constantly, every time you hear Danny speak, it's always talking about the human side of football. And I like that because it doesn't get spoke about enough. The human side of the game does not get spoken enough as it should do. And I think it's something that Danny's always willing to keep bringing up and saying about the human side of a game on how this is. And I think we have to credit that. But good press conference. It'll be interesting to see what he does at the weekend because we don't have no Barry Bannon. But I'm sure he'll pick the right team. Maybe you see a Chalobah start. Maybe you see an Ingleson playing that role because he can play the 6, 8 and a 10. So maybe this is the bit where we see Ingleson really step up and go, I'm going to take my chance here. He's not going to not Barry Bannon out the game next game because he's captain, but it'll give him an interesting headache if he plays really well and steps up. So we'll see. Thank you for watching. Like, share and subscribe. I much appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one. And Hunter says hello as well.